The upcoming heavyweight professional boxing match between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte is going to take place on April 23rd in London, UK at Wembley Stadium. And the boxing fans couldn't be more thrilled. The classic fight will feature the Gypsy King and the Body Snatcher as the two battle viciously for the WBC heavyweight title. So, what outcome can we expect when these two behemoths clash inside the ring? Who will emerge victorious as the ultimate boxing superstar? Keep watching this video till the end, because we're gonna tell you everything that you need to know about Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, and the fighters' boxing styles, strengths, and weaknesses. Now, let's get started. Background. Alright, so let's start by shedding some light on the past encounters and brief histories of Fury and Whyte. In December 2021, WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman said that Whyte is going to face Fury as the mandatory challenger for WBC heavyweight title. The two fighters have an uneasy relationship due to past animosity, so both bruising heavyweights are feeling highly spirited and competitive right now. Right now, Fury is still riding the high of defeating Deontay Wilder in a truly memorable trilogy, so he's pretty much an unbeatable boxer. On the other hand, Dillian Whyte is relatively a novice compared to Fury. He had almost blown his chance of getting a shot at the world title when he got knocked out by Alexander Povetkin in 2020. But the Body Snatcher has recovered and is back on his feet, ready to take out Fury and later Anthony Joshua. The Brixton Banger, aka Whyte, has also defeated Chisora, Oscar Rivas, and Joseph Parker, so a lot of bets are being placed on his victory over Fury as well. Now with that, let's move on to the fighting career of the legendary Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the current reigning WBC heavyweight champion and a two-time heavyweight champion. The 33-year-old Gypsy King has a stunning record that reads 31 win records out of his 32 bouts, with 1 draw, 0 losses, and a total of 22 knockouts. Fury has effortlessly dominated the ring with his towering 6'9" height and a reach of 85 inches since he debuted in 2008. So yeah, his accomplishments speak for themselves, since he's also retained the unified WBA, IBF, WBO, IBO, and the ring titles after defeating the great Vladimir Klitschko. Along with Muhammad Ali and Floyd Patterson, Tyson Fury is the only heavyweight boxer in history to hold the ring title twice. So if I was Dillian Whyte, I would be feeling pretty intimidated right now. Because, trust me, it takes a lot to get Fury to hit the canvas. Fighting style. Although Fury is known to have an orthodox style that he comfortably switches with a southpaw stance sometimes, it's still a hard one to pinpoint because it can often be very unpredictable. So the most terrifying thing about him is that we may not have even seen the best of Fury yet. He's constantly switching up his style and tactics at the drop of a hat. That makes him a force to be reckoned with in the ring. Towering at 6'9", he still moves with the grace and agility of a cat, which is kind of intimidating from a man of his size. To top it off, Fury has one of the best boxing IQs to back up his fighting style, making him nearly indestructible. He tends to swarm his opponent, disrupt their rhythm, and outmaneuver them with some wicked footwork. Now, let's talk about his strengths and weaknesses. Strengths. Punches. Fury is a power puncher, and there are very few fighters who do it better than him. His swift jabs and hooks can knock even the Hulk out. In fact, his jab is the best weapon in his arsenal, which really sets him apart. He throws his opponent almost off balance with quick flick jabs. Firstly, he has quick flick jabs that are purely designed to put his opponent almost off balance. Footwork. You might not expect it with a huge guy like Fury, but footwork is actually a specialty of his. The only other fighter who is in the best comparison against Fury would be Muhammad Ali. He shimmies and switches to southpaw so quickly that his rivals have no hope of chasing him or escaping him. Pretty frightening, huh? Defense. Fury's defensive IQ has taken the boxing world by storm since his debut. The most interesting thing about Fury is that he doesn't rely on his size and strength like a total brute. Rather, he dodges and feints like someone who is more slender and shorter. Fury likes to keep his rivals guessing with clever feints and surprise jabs. No one can get a read on him because he has incredible speed and agility. Feints. Feints come as easy as breathing to Fury, and he uses them constantly like Joe Frazier, who is another one of the legends. The constant head twitching throws his opponent's rhythm off, giving him golden windows of opportunity to knock them flat. Fury relies on his use of multiple feints mixed with a simple jab to crush his adversaries. Weaknesses. Due to his sheer size and height, Fury can't hit faster or successively, so he has to pick his battles carefully and cut his losses, which admittedly are extremely rare. Underestimates opponents. Tyson Fury has a history of undermining his opponents, and as a result, he has been dropped or hurt in fights where he became cocky. Counter right hand. Fury needs to tighten his defenses when it comes to defending those right hands, because he's been knocked down twice by the counter overhand right by Nevin Padgkick and Steve Cunningham. Alright, now for the next part, let's discuss Dillian Whyte and his fighting career. Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte debuted in 2011, and he's made quite a name for himself as a heavyweight boxer, currently holding the WBC interim world title for a second time. The Brixton man also has the honor of being a former British, WBC silver, and WBO international titleist. The best thing about Whyte is that he is well versed as a crafty kickboxer and mixed martial artist. The 33-year-old fighter stands at a towering height of 6 feet 4 with a pretty good reach of 78 inches. Whyte has a record that reads 28-2-0 with 19 knockouts. So yeah, pretty good score for the body snatcher, right? Okay, so now what about his fighting style? Well, we're getting to that part too, don't you worry. Fighting style. Whyte has an orthodox style, and he's a good, solid fighter. To be honest, he's a little rough around the edges as he doesn't come into the fights with the best conditioning. But one point to be noted here is that Whyte's left hook is literally considered the best left hook in today's heavyweight scene. He is a naturally tough fighter who's big enough to cause some serious damage, but agile enough to be completely elusive. Strengths. Punch power. Whyte can pack a mean punch. In fact, his punch power KO'd Chisora in 2018 with one strong left hook. He can also sustain many punches to his body, so the guy knows how to give and take a solid shot for sure. Best left hook. Like I mentioned before, Whyte has the best left hook in the heavyweight division, and he can take out guys bigger than him with one good left hook to the jaw. In fact, I reckon his best bet against Fury is gonna be that left hook. Timing. Whyte's pretty good at timing his opponents. He picks his battles at the right time and bides his time to take a shot, so he's more clever in the ring than a lot of people give him credit for. Weaknesses. Temper. According to David Higgins, Whyte's temper can really cloud his judgment in the ring and make him suffer many losses. He states, quote, "Whyte is a guy that struggles to control his emotions and could fly into a rage quite easily. That isn't going to help him in the ring, being hot-headed and having a tendency to take undue risks." Vulnerability to uppercuts. It was Alexander Povetkin who first noticed that Whyte is usually missing uppercuts from left and right. So, this ultimately led to Whyte's defeat as well. So Whyte's Achilles heel is a bout of uppercuts directed at him. If Whyte wants to hold his own against Fury, he really needs to work on avoiding uppercuts. Because believe me, Tyson Fury can punch anyone into next week. Okay, so now that we're done with the unique styles of Fury and Whyte, the question remains, who will win this upcoming fight? Who will win? Okay, so now it's time to predict who will win this upcoming match. The best bet is that Tyson Fury will defeat Dillian Whyte by stoppage. I mean, just look at Fury. He's knocked out the heaviest punchers twice, and even survived 4 total knockdowns. The guy is a total powerhouse with a granite jaw. So yeah, if we're being technical here, then the 6'9" Fury definitely has a 4-inch height advantage and a 6-inch reach edge over the shorter Whyte. And he's only gotten better with age and confidence. so Whyte barely has any hope of causing any damage to Fury. The potent jabs and feints in Fury's arsenal will destroy Whyte's defense like it's a house made of cards. The truth is, Whyte hasn't faced an adversary like Tyson Fury before. As someone with an amateur boxing background, it's easy to imagine that he won't be able to hold the fort down against the force of nature that is Fury. In fact, as a great fighter who was transformed into a power puncher from a pure boxer, Fury's gonna have a field day with Whyte. As a more unpredictable, dynamic fighter with harder punches, incredible footwork, and superior fighting IQ, it appears that Fury is going to defeat Whyte by round 7 TKO. And that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. We'll be back with more soon. But until then, adios.